Good morning, everyone. So let's wait 2 minutes for everyone to arrive, and then we are going to start. I'm very, very happy to have you here. Let's wait 1 more minute, and then we are going to start the webinar because I see the participants still arriving to the meeting. All right. Can you, Elisa, Rocio, do you see my screen?
Yes, we see the presentation.
Perfect, thank you. So good morning, everybody. My name is Katarzyna Janusz, and I work at EIT Urban Mobility as the RIS Education Officer. And today we are going to be presenting you our third RIS Education call that is now open. So first of all, we are going to go through the content of the call in terms of the activity topics that we are expecting and the content of the proposals that we are expecting. And then my colleagues, I'm sorry, I'm trying to move the screen. Yes. And then my colleagues, Rocio and Elisa, are going to guide you through NetSuite, which is our new submission platform. We used to use PLAZA. PLAZA is no more in use. Now we are going to use NetSuite. So we will guide you through the submission process in NetSuite. And at the end of our webinar, we are going to have some time for the question and answer sessions. So some housekeeping messages. So we are recording this meeting. And so your microphone should be muted, and please use the Q&A chat box to make your questions. You should see it in your Zoom, and then we are going to answer your questions during the Q&A session at the end. So let's give maybe first of all a very broad introduction to EIT Urban Mobility Academy and RIS. So Academy in EIT Urban Mobility is one of the thematic areas that we are working with next to impact ventures and innovation. And our goal is basically to close the knowledge gap in urban mobility and innovation and entrepreneurship by training the next generations of urban mobility practitioners. And we basically provide training not only to the students, but also to professionals, and we focus on innovation, entrepreneurship, and urban mobility, as I said. And in the RIS countries, we have special mission to basically close the innovation gap. So we want to increase the levels of innovation entrepreneurship. So that's why we have this RIS education call, basically to design and have the projects that are supporting this mission. So these are the main features of the call. This is quite a busy slide, so please please bear with me. So the call has opened on the 17th of June, so it has been already open for some time. 17th of May, I'm sorry. And then it's gonna close on the 17th of July at 5 p.m. So this is really important. And we are going to communicate the results in October 2024 because of the summer break. The procedures might be quite slow, but we hope to be ready by October 2024. And the project duration is 9 months. So for one of the RIS education categories activities, so for the summer and winter schools, and 12 months for the other categories that I'm going to explain to you later. A total budget of the call is up to approximately 1.5 million. So which means that the projects are on average 150,000 euros, which is an increase from the previous years where we were giving 100,000 euros to the projects. And with an exception of the RIS 3, again, category, so these are the summer and winter schools where the budget is 85,000 euros, but I will come back to it so you will get more clarity. And we have the minimum co-funding of 25% per proposal, and there is one category, RIS Education 4, with the 50%. So the evaluation criteria, so I will just briefly mention them, but they are really, really important because this is how the evaluators are gonna basically look at your proposal and score your proposal. So I suggest you read the call manual in details about what is going to be evaluated. So we are going to be looking at the strategic fit. We are going to be looking at the excellence and novelty of your proposals, at the impact, social, economic, financial, and also sustainability in general terms, and also the quality and efficiency of the implementation. So your work plan, your KPIs, and so on. And then who can apply? There were quite a lot of questions already. It seems like there is some confusion, but basically this is an open call. So it's a call that is open to all legal entities established in European Union member states or in third countries associated with Horizon Europe. So countries like Turkey and Ukraine, they're also eligible to apply. And we welcome proposals from mono and multi-beneficiary proposals, but at least one partner must be from the RIS country. So if we have the mono proposals, mono beneficiary proposals, the partner has to be from a RIS country. And if we have multi-beneficiary proposals, at least one partner has to be from at least one RIS country. So it is possible to have a non-RIS partner as well. We actually welcome this collaboration. So basically, what is the general scope of the activities that we are going to be supporting? So basically to support the overall RIS strategy, so the closing the innovation gap, improving the innovation entrepreneurship skills, and also increasing the knowledge levels of students, practitioners about urban mobility. We focus on a need-based approach, which means that the proposed trainings that you're going to be developing have to be anchored in needs that are existing in your countries. We are looking for new activities. So, for example, running some pilots with a potential for scaling up. Or it can be also that you identify existing activities and you scale them up. Or you create synergies with other European and pan-European activities. So, for example, we are running some programs here in-house like Start for Future or Girls Go Circular, and you can basically attach your activity to this bigger activity as well. So this is also possible. And as I said, this is a RIS education call, but we also welcome the non-RIS stakeholders. So the consortia can be composed of RIS and non-RIS stakeholders. And we would like to see the integration of also new RIS stakeholders in the consortia and in the projects. So what about target groups? So we are working and we are expecting your proposals are going to cover the students and the professionals as a target group, professors, mentors, and trainers. So the university teaching staff, also educational organizations in general, and the ecosystem. So going back to the university staff. And this is the new one. The last one is the youth. So we would like to see projects that are basically fostering the innovation and entrepreneurship skills of the young people between 12 and 19 years old. So this is the general scope of the activities in the target group. And now I'm going to go basically to describe what we expect in each activity topic. We have 4 of them. And this is basically the RIS Education 1. So this is the RIS capacity building. So basically the idea here is to increase and create entrepreneurial and innovation capacity in RIS countries by basically developing training that fosters those skills. And it can be on all sides of knowledge triangle. So you can be developing projects that are targeting cities, universities, research, industry, and so on. And it should be about developing innovation entrepreneurship skills in the urban mobility sector. And secondly, this is a new section that we involved. We would like to see trainings in innovation and entrepreneurship that are going to improve the researchers' skills and capacities to scale up and commercialize the research outputs, because we see a lot of researchers having great ideas, but also having no possibility for career progression in academia. So we would like to help them and basically be able for them to scale up their own solutions and commercialize them, and maybe starting a little company by themselves. And then this is the last one that refers to the new target group that we have, so the youth. So basically developing the trainings that are focusing on teaching innovation entrepreneurship skills to this age category. And this can include the development of new courses and trainings, hopefully in collaborations with local schools, ministries, and so on. Or you can also create synergies with existing local, regional, national, European initiatives. For example, there is the Girls Go Circular initiative, which basically focuses on what we are talking about here. So developing innovation and entrepreneurship skills among the youth. So maybe you can identify this Girls Go Circular initiative in your own country and then try to attach your proposed solution to this initiative. And then activity topic 2. So this is about providing topical training on urban mobility challenges. So this is basically about creating concrete projects and trainings that are gonna train people on specific urban mobility topics. So we listed some topics which we got from the consultations with the stakeholders that we did before this call. So we have 6 different topics, but if you have any idea for a different topic, this is also welcome. So as it mentions here, this is not an exclusive list. As I said, we want to see the projects that are need-based. So if you identify any other need in your own country, in your own ecosystem about urban mobility challenges, you're very much welcome to prepare a proposal about this topic. And then the activity topic 3, so this is the organization of the summer and winter schools for the bachelor students in RIS countries, and they should have a focus on, again, training the students for innovation and entrepreneurship skills. And this is the only type of the activity where we welcome the proposals for 9 months with a budget of 85,000 euros. And there is a possibility for this course to obtain the EIT labeled. I can explain a bit more later if there are questions about it. And the idea is basically to create a 1-week challenge-based summer or winter schools, and where the students will work on this challenge, and at the same time, they're going to be developing their innovation and entrepreneurship skills. And the challenges should be provided in collaboration with cities and industry. So we would like to see this knowledge triangle integration. And the idea is to have a 2-step recruitment process to select minimum 35 participants, but actually no more than 40, we would say, because we want to provide the students with an interactive, hands-on experience when they can really exchange with the professors and the practitioners. And the idea is that the students are attending the 2nd year of their bachelor's studies, because we would also like to promote our master school through this winter school. So then at the end of the winter or summer school, the students can be ready to go and enroll in our master programs. And there is a specific required educational background. There is quite an extensive list of the educational background of the students. So I suggest that you can check the call manual for that. And for this topic, we have a financial sustainability mechanism, which is 4,000 euros in revenues paid back to EIT Urban Mobility at the end of the project. And then this is the last activity topic, RIS Education 4. So this is the scaling up of local initiatives. So basically, you can identify existing local, regional, national, or EU-funded educational activities in relation to urban mobility or innovation and entrepreneurship in your own countries, and you can create synergetic activities with them. So the idea is basically to reach a wider audience and to get wider impact out of the activities. And the idea can be, for example, there is a university program that trains professionals in certain urban mobility topic, and you think it's worthwhile to expand this training to other municipalities or to other universities. So you can use the funding, you can use the project to basically do that. So to expand the geographical reach of of this course and to have more participants applying or taking this course. So these are the cross-cutting considerations. So we expect the projects to have the possibility to be scaled up in the future. So you would open up to new markets, you would have new participants, and also the possibility to replicate. Gender mainstreaming is very important for us, not only in terms of the choice of the participants in the recruitment, but also in terms of the consortium composition. We always work with the knowledge triangle, so it's important to see in the proposals or to explain how the knowledge triangle is integrated. It doesn't mean that you need to have in your proposals all sides of the knowledge triangle as a consortium members, but there is a section in the application form where you should explain how you're going to involve industry players, how you're going to involve universities, cities, and so on into your project. So this is very important. We also expect the projects to have the value for money, meaning there has to be a fairly reasonable cost per KPI. So this is something that the evaluators look at as well. And as I said before, it has to be responding to the specific needs in the risk country. So these are considerations that are applying basically to all proposals across all the activities. And as for the budget allocation, I mentioned that we have the budget available for the call, which is up to 1.5 million euros. And for the activity 1, 2, and 4, we have the budget of 1.245 million euros. And then the indicative EIT funding per project is 150,000. So we expect to allocate around 8 projects. And then for the RIS Education 3, the total funding that we have is around 255, and the funding per project is 85. So this is the EIT funding, which excludes the co-funding ratio, which comes on top of this budget. But as it says here, the exact number of projects to be funded will depend on the quality of the proposals received and the total funding available. So the number of projects we select might change. And it also, if we see that we don't have proposals that are good enough for certain activity types, we might not select them at all. So quickly about mandatory deliverables. So there are 2 mandatory deliverables that your projects need to have, since the projects are focusing on the provision of training. It's very important for us to see first the course and the training outline as a deliverable, and secondly, we pay a lot of attention to the communication, dissemination, and recruitment plans. So we really want to see how you're going to disseminate the project and how you're going to recruit your participants. And so these are the deliverables. So you have to include them you have to include the list in the proposals, but actually you write and you submit the deliverables once the project is complete or at the interim stage of the project. So these are the KPIs. So we have the same KPIs for all activity types. The numbers might be the values might be a little bit different depending on the activity. So I suggest you check the call manual for the more specific numbers. But basically we have the mandatory KPIs. So we have here 4 of them, the most important being the EIT HE 8.2, which is about participants in non-labeled education and training with citizenships in EIT risk countries. This is very important. We get a lot of questions about it. So the participants need to be the citizens in risk countries. It's not enough that they have the residency, they need to be the citizens. And then we have the 3 others. And then we also have the optional KPIs, which you can choose. So the first one is about the creation of the startup. So maybe there will be some startups coming out of your activities. And then in case you decide to label your program, you can use the KPI 7.2, which is graduates from EIT label programs. And there are 2 others, which I think are quite straightforward. And now I give it to Elisa and Rocio, who are gonna walk you through NetSuite and how to submit your proposal in NetSuite.
Thank you. Yes, do you hear me actually?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, I hope it works. So give me just 1 second because the system logged me out. So I just need to re-log in and then I quickly drive you a bit through the application form. Keep in mind in the meantime that anything we show you today, it's included in the guidance that we published on the website. So all this information are there. So don't worry if you miss some details, you will actually be able to find them all in the guidance. So I'm sharing the screen.
Elisa, we see your screen, but we do not hear you very well.
What's happening? I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, we'll hear you now.
Do you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so I hope it's gonna work because it seems that today the audio is having some troubles. Okay, so a quick thing. So before, this is actually the homepage of NetSuite when you can start to find the call and then apply to the call. But before being able to enter this page, you must actually register into our platform. To do that, you must fill in this partner information form, so the PIF form, which is the one that you see now on the screen. Fill in basically the information about your organization and submit it, and then receive the login details to access the system. Two important things in this case. If in the past you already applied to one of our calls in PLAZA, so you are registered in PLAZA, you don't need to fill in this form. Please write to our service desk and ask them the login details, because all your data have been transferred in the new system. So you are already in the system, you just don't have the login details. So please write them and they will give you the access. The second thing, for those who register for the first time, remember that in order to be able to submit the PIF and therefore register, you must have a PIC number. Now, the PIC number is an identification code that you receive directly from the European Commission by registering on the funding and tender portal. So all the partners we work with must have this PIC number, therefore be registered in this main database. You find the link in the PIF form, and once you go there, you will be able to, again, include some details about your organization and receive the PIC number. It's a rather quick procedure. It won't take more than 5-10 minutes to have that, and then you will be able to write your PIC here, fill in the full form and submit it. At that point, you have the login details to access the NetSuite platform where we are now. And this is basically the view that you will see once you enter in the platform. So you should be able to see too many information, and it should be rather easy to navigate through. Now, the main two sections where you will work with, it's the call for proposal, open calls, and my applications. By clicking on open calls, you can see the calls that are currently running. In this case, the one you're interested in is the RIS Education Open Call. While under call for proposal, my applications, you will be able to see the applications that you are working on. So as soon as you start to apply to a proposal and you open an application form, you will see it here. You will see if it's in progress or submitted, in case you have submitted that. And here below, you will be able to see any proposal where you are included, but you are not the direct owner of the application form. And now I explain you a bit better about that. So now you see a lot because this is our test screen, but you will basically see probably just one proposal, two if you want to do a test one and that you don't submit, but so it's not going to be so long. So going back to the open calls, you will see the RIS Education Open Call. You find here the link. This is the direct link to the web page in our website, where you find the call manual, the guidance to apply, and all of the information to apply to the call. What you only need to do is to click on apply. And at that point, your application form is created. Takes a moment. Okay, And here you see your application form, you see the call you're applying to, and the opening and starting date of the call. The application form, as you can see, is divided into these 5 sections. Each one is including a certain set of information. So under main information, you will need to write, so this part, of course, it's autofill, so this is why it's grayed out. You have to select the topic, so the one that was now presented, so RIS 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, sorry, no 5. You must include the project title, the acronym of your project. Keep attention to the number of characters, maximum characters that you can include, and then define what is the start and end date of your project. Please remember what was said before regarding start and end date. So you have project that can last up to 12 months, some other up to 9. And in the call manual, you can also find the reference to when a project should start as a maximum starting date. Remember that all projects, regardless of when they start and how long they are, must end the 31st December 2025, because this is the closure of our funding cycle as well. These 3 sections will be filled in automatically by the system as soon as you will complete the budget tab, so you don't need to do anything here. The last 2 parts you have to fill in this section is the executive summary, and here you should present briefly a summary of your project. Ideally, you should fill in this section at the end. So once everything is clear, you have the work packages, you reply to all the other questions, you have the full idea of what your project is about, then you can fill in this part. And then we ask you to include a set of keywords. You must add from 3 to 5 predefined keywords. So by clicking here, you will be able to select a few of them. You will see it's a long list. You can pick the one that is most relevant for your project. So minimum of 3, maximum of 5. And then you will be able to include, again, minimum of 3, maximum of 5 self-defined keywords. And in this case, you simply click here. You can write your keyword, press enter, and it will be saved, and you can include the other one. Try, of course, to pick some keywords that were not already in the self-given list, so you have a bit of a variety. One thing before we go on, remember when you work on the form to please save as draft as much as possible, because sometimes the system, if you work on that for too long, may not store all the information. So it's wise, first of all, to save each time you move to another tab. And if you stay long in one tab because you need some information that are missing, please remember to save before maybe you leave the application form for a few minutes to do something else. In the partner information form, you can see that we will ask you to include the information about the consortium that is applying to the call. So the first 2 parts will be automatically pre-filled, and here you will see the project leader and the project leader main contact person. It's the one of the person that created the form. So in this case, I created the form, so my organization, it's included automatically as the lead partner organization, and my email is the one of the contact person of the organization. So please remember that ideally it's the lead partner that should create the application form and then include all the information. Otherwise, you will risk to have a partner that appears as lead partner. In order to include partners into the project, you must, first of all, include the PIC number. So the form works in this way. Let me check 1 second. Okay, so if I include a real PIC number, so when we were talking about the PIF form at the beginning, if this partner organization with this PIC number is registered in our system, so the partner submitted the PIF form, then by writing the full PIC number, you will be able to see the name of the partner, select it, and therefore it will be added to the project. If you don't have the PIC number of a partner, you must ask them. And if they give you the PIC number, you write it here, but nothing pops up in the drop-down menu, it means that this partner is not registered in the platform. So please invite them to register, and only at that point you will be able to find them here. So you will not see a list of partners, you will only see the one that is linked to the specific PIC you are writing in the form here. For each partner, then we ask you to include a description. The lead partner, as you can see, is here automatically. So this is already here. You only need to add the description. For the other partner, you have to insert them one by one here below and add the partner description. The description must describe who is the partner, what is the organization doing, and more or less what is the role in general terms that they will have into the project. You will also be able to indicate if there is any direct link between some of the participants. So you can click yes if there are some. And in the description, you can say which partner is linked to which other partner. So it's a normal text field, but please remember to list all the partners that are linked to each other, if any at all. And you find here also the description of which type of direct link have to be listed in case there are any. We also have at the bottom of this page the co-editor function. So here you can include the name of a partner or a co-worker that will work with you on the application form. Here, please remember, don't add too many co-editors. So ideally, maximum 1, 2 should be the minimum. Otherwise, it becomes too much to have too many people working on the application form, and include them only if they really will contribute in writing in the application form. Otherwise, it doesn't really make sense to give them editor right. Here, again, it's a bit like the adding a partner. So you must include the full email address. So now I'm, for example, writing mine. Okay, for some reason, nothing pops up. But in any case, it's the same logic that you have for the PIC number. So if you write the full email address and the correct email address, and this person is linked to one of the organization, you will be able to select it from the drop-down menu and include it. Otherwise, you must ask this person to register into the system. So this is the same logic. Going to the project scope tab, here you find all the specific information about your project. So you have the main objective and the project scope, which is more the generic question about your project. And then you can see all the specific questions which are really linked to this specific call. So you have to describe the output of the proposed activity and so on and so forth. This is basically the biggest part of the proposal. We advise you to have a look at the question, write them in a Word document or whatever, and then copy paste them once you're ready, because as you can see, it's pretty long, so it doesn't make sense that you start to fill in this section on the go. So this big block of question, the one under that you see at the beginning, it's the specific question linked to the call, and then you will see some other questions which are more general one about the communication and dissemination plan, the gender and diversity, the knowledge triangular indicator, and the intellectual property rights. So here, depending of what is foreseen for your project and what is applicable to that, you can include a description. We also ask you to highlight if there are any risks linked to your project. So to do that, you just simply click on Add New. You can select the type of risk that you are expecting to have, and then you can give a title. You can explain what is the likelihood. So it can be a very high risk, very low, or in between that. And then you can provide an explanation of what are the impact and especially how you plan to mitigate this type of risk. And once you have everything filled in, you just click on Save, and it will be showed down here. You can include, of course, more than one risk, depending on what you identify. We have then the financial sustainability section. So here, in your case, the FSM that you will include will always be revenue. So in the dropdown, you can select the revenue. You click on OK. And then you will be able to edit here and put a description, who is the responsible partner. You will see all the partners that have included in the project will be listed here. So you can simply pick who is the responsible one. You can explain what is the revenue type in your case. and then you can define a value for each year. If for 1 year, for example, 2024, most probably the value will be 0, you can of course write 0. You don't have to have a positive value for each year, but just try to write the value when it's most realistic that you will receive the revenue. The last part here, you can also indicate if you foresee any ethics and security issues. If yes, then you will have to explain which are the issues and put a brief description of why this could be a problem. If you don't identify anything, then of course you can leave it on no, and you won't be asked to explain anything else in addition. So once you define the core content part of the project, you can go to the work plan tab. Here you will build the structure of your project. So you will have to divide the project in different work packages, depending from the type of activities. We recommend you to have maximum 5 work packages. So between 3 and 5, normally it's a good number. Of course, you can have also a bit less, but less than 3 probably would be a bit too few, and everything will be grouped too much. But don't exaggerate with the work packages, because the more you add work packages, the more it's going to be hard also to follow, also for our evaluators. So try to group the activities in major blocks. To create a work package, you click on New Work Package. At that point, you can give it a name, you can write a description, you can define what is the start and end date of the project, and of course, make sure that it makes sense linked to the start and end date of the project itself. You can define who is the work package leader, which not necessarily is the lead partner of the project, of course, and then who is contributing to this work package. Remember here that when among the contributors, you should add again also the work package leader, because otherwise this will not allow you to include the budget in the budget tab. So if the work package leader here it's Elisa, then you also have to include Elisa in under work package contributors. Here then we will ask you to briefly describe the role of the partners in this work package, what each one of them is doing. One thing to keep in mind in the work package description, please remember to divide the various activities in different tasks. So ideally under work package 1, you should have task 1, task 2, task 3. Of course, you don't need to have like dozens of tasks per work package, but please try to again group the activities in different tasks for each work package. And once you're done, you just click on save, and the work package will be, now of course it's not going to allow me because some information are missing, it will be displayed here. Remember that if you create the number of the work packages is assigned automatically. So you will create a work package, it will be named work package 1, you create another 2 or 3. If at some point you delete the work package 1, the 2 and 3 will be renumbered. So 2 will become 1, 3 will become 2, and so on. So keep that in mind when you start to work on that. One thing that I forgot is when you create the work package, so let me create one, because otherwise you will not be able to see. So now I'm just putting something random in the system. Okay. Save. Debate while it's saved. So once you create a work package, you will be able to link deliverables to each work package. So you cannot create a deliverable that it's not. Okay, we have an error. you cannot create a deliverable that is not linked to a specific work package. Keep in mind that you have the mandatory deliverable that you will find in the call manual. So make sure that you have these. If I remember right, there were 2 of them. So remember to have them included. And now let me try once again if it works. Otherwise, like it's not that complicated. The deliverable part, again, you will have a button telling you that you can add a deliverable. And at that point, again, you will be able to have a description, right? When is the expected date of having the deliverable completed? And you can then add a brief description. Now it seems to be working. So just wait a second. Okay, so here you see once the work package is created, I have the add deliverable button. I click here, and here you can see the name, the description, and the achievement date. When you write the achievement date, of course, keep into account that the date should be more or less justified. So otherwise, during the implementation of the project, you will have to ask for postponing a deliverable. So try to keep in mind a realistic date for that. So again, you see work package 1. When you will add a deliverable, the first one you will add will be the deliverable 1.1 because it's linked to work package 1 and so forth. So the numbering will be automatically allocated by the system. After that, you are able to include the outputs and the milestone of the project. So here again, you click on add new. You can write the name of the output, the description, the achievement date, who is the responsible partner, who is contributing. And the same will be for the milestone. So if you see, the structure is always the same. Don't exaggerate with outputs and milestones, of course, as well as with deliverables. So in general, try to really focus on the key steps, the key information, because it's not really about a quantity. If we see too many, it's not going to be any better than having a few ones that are well thought. The last part is quite important, which is the KPI part. As you can see here again, you can click on add new. And at that point, you will be able to select from the dropdown which KPI you want to include. Of course, keep in mind what is written in the call manual, because you must include the mandatory KPI. In your case, for example, one is the 8.2. So you will add this one. The title and the description will be automatically filled in by the system. You only need to write an explanation and then write what are the target values, when you plan to achieve them, and who will be the responsible and the contributing partner. Again, here with the target values, you don't have to have a positive value for each of the 3 years. So write the value only in the year that you expect to actually achieve the KPI. In the year that you don't expect to have anything, just put 0 and it's of course okay. You can add, of course, more KPIs. So once you add one, you will save, and then you can keep adding new ones according to the type of challenge you're applying to in the call and according to the KPIs that are listed in the call manual. Last tab will be the budget tab, and it's last actually also in practical terms. So we actually suggest you to fill in this tab at the very end. Why? Because if you can see at the moment, you can only see one partner, which is me, so the lead partner with work package 1. So this tab is directly linked to the work plan tab. What does it mean? That as soon as I start to create work packages into this tab and I assign contributors to them, in the budget tab, each contributor will appear, and for each contributor, you will see only the work packages where they're supposed to work. So if now, for example, I edit this one and I add a new contributor, which for some reason I cannot, and I don't know why it's not appearing. So let me go back here 1 second, see if I can. And let me save. Okay, so I go back into the work plan. Again, then all this information are in the guidance with all the screenshots. So if I'm going a bit too fast, don't be scared. So I'm in the work package. I add now, for example, the second partner in the system, and I save. the budget. And now you can see that apart from me, there is also the other partner, work package 1. So you can see like the direct link between these two tabs. So don't fill in the budget tab unless you are fully sure that the work plan you define is correct, because it doesn't make sense that you start to fill in the budget, then you go back into the work plan, you delete the work package, you want to restructure them. This budget tab will not be valid anymore, and you have to do it all again from scratch. So please wait the very end to define the budget. I mean, to define the budget among partners, of course, you can start to do it before, but before including in the system, wait to have the work plan filled in. And then, as you can see, this tab is structured in a way that on the top, you see the total budget. Here, you don't have to fill anything, because it will be automatically filled in based on the information of each partner. And you can also click on that and hide it, so you don't have a super long page. And then here, what you see is that for each partner, for each work package they are assigned to, now you only see one because I created only one, you will be able to write what is the budget that they have for each work budget line. Anytime you include an amount, you must also provide a description. So for example, if I assign 10,000 euro under staff, then I should briefly describe, for example, how many people I expect to work on what. So I don't know, expected to one person working full-time on the preparation of the training course, for example. So you don't need to go in too many details. So we don't expect to have a very long description, but you must provide at least some key information about what is the composition of the budget line. Also, for example, you include travel costs. You can write expected 2 trips in Europe for 3 people. It's already enough for us to understand if the budget makes sense or not. And you don't need to define who is traveling, to where, when, what they will spend in detail. Once you define the whole budget, you must indicate what is the EIT funding percentage, and then define any other co-funding percentages. You don't have to have all of them, of course, but if you have them, please include them. The sum of all these percentages must be 100. The system will in any case give you error if you don't stick to the 100. And you have the partner own funding rate. This means that it's money that you as a partner will put to contribute to the project. Other co-funding, then it's divided into 4 different categories. So national and regional, it means that a national or a regional authority is providing some funds to support your project. EU non-EIT rate is if any other EU project is covering part of this cost apart from the EIT one. Other, it means anything that it's not linked to national, regional, or non-EIT funding. And private, it means if a private institution is contributing to somehow to the project budget. And this is basically it. Once you include the percentages, the amount will be automatically calculated. So you only need to include the percentages, and then it's going to be okay. So you can see now very quickly, if I put 100, you will see that the total is basically matching, of course, because everything will be covered with EIT funding. And this is it. So if you see, this is automatically updated as soon as I start to work on it. So I don't even need to save. This is updated on the go. And yeah, this is basically the budget part. Couple of information now on a very general base. Once you are ready to submit a proposal, you click on submit. You will see now, of course, you find a lot of errors because I didn't fill in any section. So it's telling me all the things that are missing. And actually this function is actually good for you, because if you are not sure if something is missing, by clicking on submit, you can see if something is missing. When everything is okay, by clicking submit, you will have to confirm that you actually want to submit the application. And at that point, if you click OK, your application will be submitted. You will not receive any automatic email confirming that the application is submitted. But if you go, as I showed at the beginning, under My Applications, you will see if your application is submitted or not. So by just going back here, if you see that it results as submitted, it means that the system received it and everything is fine. Remember not to include any link in the description of your project. So especially when you work on the project scope tab, don't include hyperlink in the system. First of all, because our evaluators are not going to assess anything that is linked to something outside of the application form. And the second thing is because the system will not be able to read them and you may have issues with the application form. So please be careful not to include hyperlinks. Remember to, as I said before, save as often as possible the form so you don't risk to lose any information. And last but not least, I think is the most important information, don't wait the last minute to do the final submission of your application form, because if there is any issue in the system, we will not be able to support you and you may risk to not be able to submit before the deadline. So ideally, even the day before should be a good moment to do the final submission. So with 1 day buffer, you can contact us if there is an issue. In case, send us a screenshot of what is the problem, and we will still be able to help you fix it and submit the proposal. I think this was it, more or less. I don't know, Rocio, if you want to add any specific note about some of the tabs, about the specific information for the call.
I think everything was well covered, Lisa. I think you review all the information needed. And of course, if the applicants have any questions, we can have it, well, discuss it now, or there will be also the guidelines available for them to review it.
Thanks, Elisa and Rocio. So now if you have any questions, you can type them in the Q&A box. I see a question. It's about the membership fee. So I'm going to read it. So is it correct that any European legal entity can apply, but upon approval of the proposal, it is mandatory to become a KIG member with the most affordable membership grade being the silver one of 10,000? Is it that membership cost a one-off? So it is indeed correct that once your project is selected as a consortium member, you have to become a KIG partner. And the membership fee is the silver one. It is indeed 10,000. However, if you're a smaller organization, a small enterprise, or an NGO, you can have the fee of 5,000 euros. And this is indeed, that's something you pay for 1 year. And if you decide not to continue later, you can step out. And importantly, if your total budget is lower than 30,000 euros, but it means the total of all the EIT funding that you're receiving from us. So for example, if you're also receiving a funding from other projects, from impact ventures or innovations, and if your funding is lower than 30,000 euros, you can apply for a fee waiver with your innovation hub. And then the innovation hub decides if this fee waiver, partial or full, is being granted to you. And then there is a follow-up question: can that membership cost be claimed from the project budget itself? As far as I know, it's a no, but maybe Elisa and Rocio, you can confirm.
It's correct, it's no, the answer. Yeah.
Elisa, we don't hear you.
I confirm that the answer is no.
Yes, okay. Great, thank you. And then the next question: in the description of activity 1 and 2, it is indicated that the training should consist of at least 3 modules. Are there any additional requirements, for example, regarding the duration of the module? No, we don't really have. It's up to you to decide how long the modules should be. It's however, I guess we want the modules to be very interactive. We want the modules to be designed in such a way that provide the participants with the best learning experience. And whether it's 1 hour or 5 hours, I think it's a matter of a common sense and the content and the format of the modules that you want to use. So we don't have any specific requirements, but during the evaluation process, we are going to be looking into this. Then we have the next question: can you kindly provide more info of what you're looking for? RIS Education 2, focus on testing and scaling up existing solutions and training in EU outermost regions. What type of training? Can it be a knowledge exchange? Can it be 2 RIS regions receiving the same training? For example, a course from Academy Competence Hub. So we would like to start working on the outermost regions, and maybe first we would like to transfer already existing solutions or existing trainings that we have in the in our portfolio or our partners have, and then they can scale them up and work in the outermost regions. So it can be a knowledge exchange. It can be scaling up the course from the competence hub and implementing it locally in collaboration with us. This is all possible. It can be also a new training as well, actually. I see more questions. Can Turkish universities or organizations apply for this call? Yes, this is possible. Turkey is a Horizon Europe associated country, so yes. Do you have any other questions? This is your last chance to type some questions if you have them. I see something appeared. Elisa, this one is for you. This is about the Turkish organizations. Do we need PIG numbers or OIC numbers? Elisa, we don't hear you.
If you want, I can reply to this one.
Go ahead.
Yeah, they need to register as well in the funding and tender portals. So they will be able to do so in the funding and tender portal and get their PIC number and then follow the steps as Elisa has presented.
Thanks, Rocio. Okay. Any other questions? You have one last minute. And if not, we are gonna close the call. So last chance. Something appeared. Yes, we are gonna share the video of the webinar, and we are gonna put it on the page with the RIS Education Call at EIT Urban Mobility website. But we are gonna share the link with all the participants of this webinar. Okay, then I think we can stop here. So I saw a question. All right, thank you very much. Thank you all for participating. We hope to receive proposals from you. If you have any questions at at any moment you're creating your proposal, whether it's about the content or about the submission of the proposal in NetSuite, you can always reach out to us. And thank you for now, and we wish you a very, very good day. Thank you. Bye-bye.